In Southeast Washington, cops got a call for a disturbance. And it's interesting because it was not exactly cops, they were private police officers, and they got a report about a assault in progress in a residential building. They go get Alonzo Smith, he's 27 years old, and they bring him in. Now, here's where the trouble starts. They handcuffed him. Here, we'll go to the rest of the story from the news itself. Smith was found handcuffed, unconscious, and not breathing, police said. He was transported to a hospital where he later died. Now, we don't know what happened to him that caused his death, so not right to speculate. Have no idea. Literally, how would I know? It's not in the news. I don't have tape of it. I don't know what happened to him, okay?
Well, we find ourselves in the midst of another video from the Young Turks in which it's called, listen to the name, Another Black Man Dies in Police Custody. Now, he just got through saying that he doesn't know a single thing about what happened here. Doesn't know a goddamn thing about the story. But he knows the guy was black, so he's going to use that in the video title and lay out the general implication that there was probably some racist shit going on and the black guy might have been murdered in cold blood by cops. For no reason. Let's just throw it out there. It is amazing that Cenk can squeeze this much propaganda out of a non-story. He knows that a guy died in police custody. Oh no, sorry, a black guy. And now watch where his brain goes.
But do African Americans die in custody more than other races in this country? Yes, I have the facts on that at the end of this video. So hold, okay?
Really, Cenk, I look forward to those stats. And I would love to hear your analysis of them. Are you going to mention, let me just throw this out there. Are you going to mention the fact that black people engage with cops way more often because they commit way more crime? Therefore, they're in way more jail cells. Go to the prisons right now. Guess who you're going to see? Black people. Guess what percentage of those people are going to die in prison? Probably a larger percentage than other groups that are less represented in prisons. Seems to make a ton of sense, doesn't it?
But now, this is when normally racists would step in. Sorry to call you what you are, for those of you who would say this stuff.
This is the point where the brown buffalo is going to call us racists. Now, he's going to straw man. He's going to basically come up with a fictional person that is making points that nobody is making. But you see, this is the jujitsu of what he just did. He cannot be racist now, even though he is. Even though his agenda is fuck white people, even though he is consistently paternalistic and condescending towards black people, doesn't treat them as equal, doesn't treat them as capable of defending themselves. He is racist in multiple ways, apparently unself-aware of it. But let's hear about this fictional account of what, quote, racists are saying.
Oh yeah, but Southeast DC, that's a pretty dangerous place. He's a young black guy, he's 27 years old. God knows what he did. You know, the implication is he had it coming, that he should have somehow died while being handcuffed.
Excuse me, Cenk, who exactly is saying, oh, here's some facts about a story. Young guy dies in prison. Who is getting up and saying, well, he probably had it coming. Probably had it coming. Why? He's black. Fuck him. He's black. He probably had it coming. Let him die. What's the big loss? Cenk, who is saying that?
What's the plan? Tonight, after sundown, the Germans will bring in their supplies and their gates will be open.
Oh, but he's going to position himself like this is the argument coming from some ethereal other side of just racists. Right. And now watch what he does. So apparently this guy in question had a job and worked at a charity and was just the greatest guy in the world. And Cenk's going to hold that up like, you see? So he's just going to hold that up and be like, see, black people are just noble. They're just the kindest, gentlest people in the world. And there is no criminal element in Washington, D.C. I mean, this is the level that it's at. This is what it's come down to. Watch him do this.
So let's go to the record and find out what he was about. Well, they found his bio online, and he said he was working in a private school assisting with special needs youth and finishing his social work degree.
I love his cadence with that. Like, it's so smug. And like, what do we have here? He worked for special needs youths. And finishing his social work degree. Not your typical young black man. Huh, racists? So maybe you should rethink your position of, fuck it, he probably deserved to die. Which nobody said, and nobody thinks. But I guess this anecdotal situation where one guy who died for reasons we have no idea about, the fact that he worked with special needs youths and isn't a criminal, I guess that means there are no criminals within the black community. Well, thanks for solving that one, Jenk. Where were you when we needed you? Next thing, you're probably going to highlight a Muslim who isn't a terrorist, and then poof, there goes terrorism. He just eradicated Islamic terror by highlighting an individual that wasn't an Islamic terrorist. God damn it, this is easy. It's so fun and easy to be regressive. You can use words like you're Harry Potter. Words are magic. They shape reality. So let's say you have a problem. You have a 1-inch dick, fully erect 1-inch dick. Now, some people will call that tiny and shameful. But here's a new thing. I determined from this day forward that 1-inch dick shall be called enormous. So therefore, from now on, everybody needs to know I have an enormous dick. By definition, I used words. I am the Harry Potter of regressivism. Experiamus. Leviosa.
Ooh, does sound particularly dangerous. And
Did he just say, ooh, that sounds really dangerous? Jenk, we understand that not all black people are fucking criminals. But the fact that you cherry-picked shamefully one guy, like what is this? Why is this a news story? It's a tragedy. A guy died. We have no knowledge of the story. You just admitted that at the beginning of the story. But instead, what he does is he uses this as a piece of propaganda to be like, hey, all you potential theoretical racists out there, you should not be happy. I assert that you are happy that this guy's dead and that you think he deserves it. But guess what? He was a good guy. So you're a dick. Thanks, Jenk. Thanks for clearing that up for us. Jesus.
now, he doesn't just say that, it's true. We've got quotes from his colleagues in a second. He was also so dangerous that he was a poet. He wrote poetry. He's one called The Road that he wrote. To dream freely with a life at my own pace, carelessly happy, released of my hate. Who can say they don't wish on
Is
this
he
star?
seriously quoting the guy's poetry? Holy shit. Unbelievable. I mean, this is just like emotional terrorism. He's trying to guilt us. Like, hey, this guy that died, you people aren't aware of his poetry? Did you not read it? He wrote a poem once. It said, roses are red, violets are blue. I help special needs kids, therefore I'm better than you. I mean, who cares that the guy wrote a poem? I mean, he's literally trying to shame us. Shame us for something we never felt. Put a person on your show. Sit opposite a person that goes, okay, what do you have for me today, Jenk? Well, here's what I have. 27-year-old black man dies in prison. Your thoughts? Probably deserved it. Happy he's dead. Probably a criminal. Knowing nothing about the guy. Now, don't get it twisted out there. The chance that a 27-year-old black male from Washington, D.C. is a criminal is greater than a 27-year-old Korean or a 27-year-old white guy from Washington, D.C. Now, those are what we call statistics. And a statistic is a true thing, something that we know to be true because we have evidence that supports the facts that lead us to this truth. That's true shit. Now, I understand that this 27-year-old was Mahatma Gandhi. Okay, the guy was a poet. He had a pet cat. He loved his cat. We get it. He was a great guy, Jenk, and nobody's happy that he's dead. But oh, please keep riding this horse of fuck all you potential racists out there and fuck white people and let's protect the black people.
So far. Does seem very dangerous.
You know he's not going to read? He's not going to read the tweets of Trayvon Martin. Hey, Jenk, why don't you read through the tweets of Trayvon Martin? Go Google them and look it up. He had a Twitter handle like badass nigga or some shit like that. And his tweets were not like the poem The Road. He's not doing poems about when you wish upon a star, makes no difference what race you are. When you wish upon a star, you'll be killed in jail by white people. Fuck them.
Now, we go to his colleagues that worked with him in the facility where they helped special needs kids.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, the person that you, well, didn't wish to die and didn't think deserved to be dead, let me hammer home. He worked with special needs kids. You're a fucking monster, dude.
Smith was one hell of a great worker who kept the kids smiling and did his job right. Alonzo wrote very recently, just a couple of days ago, I'm all in for these kids. I will be at work with my smile and anxious to hear Mr. Smith from the students. Bless my soul.
For he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow. You are all fucking racist for wanting him dead. Now somebody talk about slaves.
Again, don't get carried away in thinking, oh, they killed him or something. We don't know anything about that. Maybe he had a heart attack. We don't know anything about it. Okay.
Don't get carried away into thinking we killed him. Thanks, Jenk. I wasn't getting carried away. And who's them again? I love the implication. It's soft. It's soft. But it's white people killed him. If it comes out that a black person killed him, it'd be like, okay, erase this story. Fuck this story. This story is toxic. Get it out. Yeah, I wasn't thinking that, Jenk. I don't think anybody killed him. It's like saying, guys, don't get carried away. In case you're thinking that a miniature asteroid broke through the jail cell and struck this guy in his head, stop thinking that. We have no evidence of that, so let's put that aside. Thanks, Jenk. We know where your mind is at. It could be another Sandra Bland, a situation where we have zero evidence for murder, but she was a black person who's dead, and she's died in a white country. Therefore, you do the math, probably killed by a white guy.
But does this happen disproportionately to African Americans? Yes, it does.
No, Jenk. You are a dense fuck. Jenk, it happens to black people because they are in jail more. So, disproportionately, more black people are in prison. And it's not for no reason. It's because they commit crimes. Oh, and by they, I mean those that do commit crimes, not those that don't. You fucking regressive shit stains. Oh, forget about it. It's so goddamn logical. You know what else black people disproportionately have when it comes to police? They know more police officer by name because they interact with them more. They have more fragments of donut on their clothing than other races per capita because they're in and around jail cells because they commit more crimes. Dun da da da. It's a goddamn miracle. How hard is that to figure out?
So first off, you know that unarmed people who are shot, unfortunately, disproportionately African American. African Americans are heavily overrepresented among the dead in that category at about 1 in 4. That has doubled their percentage of the population. You might have heard that from all the news about African Americans who are being shot when they're unarmed, right?
Jenk, it is so ridiculous. It's as if you are painting a picture where you are willfully ignorant of the fact that police engage with black people more often per capita. More often. For a very specific reason. And that reason is they commit more crime than every other racial demographic in the nation. So everything is going to be more when it comes to them and cops. How can you not understand that? How? I mean, essentially his argument is, I believe that all races in this country commit the exact same amount of crime, and the only reason we see a disproportionate amount of black people getting shot, black people dying in a prison, black people being in a prison, the only reason for that is racism. Racism is the reason for that. It's not crimes. No, each crime, we can show you how, precisely how it was done. You can lay out the evidence, be like, here's the videotape, Jenk. We didn't make this up. This is not manufactured by racism. This is something that fucking happened. Ask a cop. I have cops sending me emails going, thank you for standing up for us. I can't say it. Cops can't get up and say it. You think they're going to, hey, I'm a cop. I'm going to start a YouTube channel and talk back to these people and say, look, you have no idea what is happening. You come with me on an average night and we'll go out and field all the calls coming in. And those calls are coming in from the black community by black people to police other black people who are committing crimes. This is not a racist thing happening here.